Paternity Leave Bereavement Bill, as amended in committee, to be considered.
Now.
No amendments on consideration. Third reading, what day?
Now.
Mr Elmore.
I think the key for me, and I want to pay tribute to the Honourable Gentleman for Broxtowe in my closing remarks when we conclude the debate, is this bill has been done through cross-party consensus, genuine cross-party working. I'd go as far to say there is no politics in bereavement. I made the point when the Chairman of Ways and Means was in the Chair, Mr Deputy Speaker, during second reading, that one of the surprising things of politicians is that we are all human, which isn't always the perception of the broader public. And I say it in jest, of course, but I say it for a purpose. We all grieve and we all feel in exactly the same way. And the Honourable Gentleman came to me in the ballot and said, would you look at this? And I did. And it's through his work some 2 years ago as to why I'm pleased to be here today presenting a different bill, I accept, but a bill that nevertheless is the starting point of bringing about these changes, which I do think are needed. And therefore it is welcome that we can do this on a genuinely cross-party basis.
The question is that the bill be now read the third time. Darren Henry.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I could not be more delighted that this bill has finally reached this stage today. I'd like, of course, to put on record my most sincere thanks to the Honourable Member for Ogmore. I was delighted when he was selected in the Private Members Bill ballot and agreed to take forward this bill. He has worked incredibly hard to get this bill to this point, and I'm very grateful for all of his and his team's work towards getting this bill towards being in law. I have recalled Aaron's story on many occasions now, and as today may be the last chance I have to do so, I will recall it again. In 2022, my constituent Aaron came to my local surgery in Stapleford with his newborn son, Tim, in his arms. Aaron had tragically lost his wife, Bernadette, in childbirth and found that he did not qualify for leave as he had not been employed by his company for the required time. I was determined to change this so that no one else would find themselves in the position Aaron did. Aaron's company made good, but was not compelled to do so in law. Aaron has been here at every stage of this bill's progression through the House. He is once again here in the gallery today. He's a testament to the power constituents can have if they raise an injustice they came across within our laws. Changes such as this come from individuals such as Aaron and his relentless fight to ensure that no one finds themselves in the same position he did. As has often been said by myself, the Honourable Member for Ogmore and others, this change will not affect many people, but to those it does affect, the impact will be huge. The bill will ensure the individuals who lose their partner during childbirth have a day one right to leave. Allowing an individual not to have to worry about their employment during what is an incredibly difficult time can have a large impact on an individual. As the Honourable Member opposite mentioned, the cross-party support for this bill truly shows the non-political nature of this change. I was delighted when presenting a 10-minute rule bill on this topic to receive overwhelming support from across the House, from members including the members for Strangford, Bassetlaw, Gedling and many others who are not in their place today. To those members that have been with me pushing for this change, I would like to put on record my thanks. Also to my honourable friend, the Minister of State, who has been the Minister for Enterprise Markets and Small Businesses, who met with Aaron and I 2 years ago regarding this issue. He has consistently offered support and advice, and I know has worked with the Honourable Member for Ogmore to get this bill here today. I hope this bill does not have to be used by many. However, it is going to have a huge impact on people during a stage of life when support is most needed. That is something everyone supporting this bill today should be incredibly proud of. Most of all, Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sarah Brickliff.
Mr Deputy Speaker, can I firstly congratulate both members for bringing this to the Chamber today and getting this bill through. It's a very, very important bill, and I've always believed, as members of Parliament, our first and foremost duty is to help our constituents, and I think it's commendable what the member has done for his constituent, Aaron.
It has been extremely positive to see the wide cross-party support this bill has attracted, especially, of course, from my honourable friend, the member for Broxtowe, who I know has long campaigned on this issue.
I'd also like to recognise the work of the Honourable Member for Broxtowe on the work he's done on behalf of his constituent Aaron and how he's worked constructively with my honourable friend the Member for Ogmore to ensure that we have legislation in place today. I think he again spoke movingly about his constituents' tragic circumstances and the loss of his wife Bernadette and why that's moved him to bring action before us, and as we've said, heard, a number of members have seen the importance of this.
Could I also thank my honourable friend for Broxtowe, who has obviously long campaigned on this issue and brought it to my attention. And as I say, I met with him in 2022, one of the first meetings I had in my ministerial role, and he joined me with Aaron, who's I know in the gallery today, and his son Tim, and we express our very best wishes to them for their campaigning. My old friend mentioned the power that people like Aaron have to influence thinking in this place, but that power has to be channeled through a willing and capable member of Parliament, minister, in due course, I'm sure. But and that's what he has displayed all the way through this. He has been persistent. His arguments have always been compelling, and persistence is very important in this space. He's always engaged with me, trying to find the best way to bring this forward, and he has found it. So I'm grateful for his efforts, and so many parents will be too. So I thank him very much for his work.
I couldn't conclude without paying tribute to the member for Broxtowe. He has been instrumental in convincing an opposition whip to take on his bill. I said at the time that's quite an achievement. But actually it is because of Aaron and Tim and Bernadette that we are here today. I wish we weren't here for it, in truth. But we are, and it's because of people like Aaron and their dogged determination to convince their constituency MPs that the law could be changed as to why we are. And I leave my last tribute, or last but one, to the officials again, but also to the member for Castlepoint, who is instrumental in ensuring that so many bills pass at every sitting Friday, week after week.
The question is that the bill be now read the third time. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Elmore, and our sincerest best wishes and thanks to Aaron and Tim.
I think we now move to next business, which is second reading of the Paternity Leave Bereavement Bill, Baroness Anderson of Stoke-on-Trent.
My Lords, I beg to move that the Paternity Leave Bereavement Bill be now read a second time. Before we begin, I would like to thank my friend Chris Elmore, the member for Ogmore, for guiding this bill through the various stages in the other House. I should put on record that I am godmother to Chris's son Henry, so I am delighted to be able to support his exceptionally important bill through your Lordship's House. I would also like to extend my thanks to all the members who spoke passionately in favour of this bill in the other place, especially Darren Henry MP, who initiated this campaign in the other place on behalf of a constituent, Aaron, who I will return to shortly.
House to be in committee on the Paternity Leave Bereavement Bill, Baroness Anderson of Stoke-on-Trent.
My Lords, I understand that no amendments have been set down to this bill and that no noble lord has indicated a wish to move a manuscript amendment or to speak in committee. Unless, therefore, any noble lord objects, I beg to move that the order of commitment be discharged.
the order commitment be discharged. As many of that opinion will say content. Contrary not content. The contents have it. Third reading of the Paternity Leave Bereavement Bill, Baroness Anderson of Stoke-on-Trent.
My Lords, I beg to move that this bill be now read a third time.
The question is that this bill be now read a third time. As many of that opinion will say content. Contrary not content. The contents have it.
My Lords, I beg to move that this bill do now pass. My Lords, time is short and we have a busy agenda today, but I want to thank your Lordship's House and the usual channels for ensuring that this very necessary bill becomes law before the imminent general election. Today we have the opportunity and we have taken a step to support new parents when a mother dies in childbirth or an adopted parent dies within the first year. Fathers like Aaron Horsey, who lost his wife Bernadette 4 hours after the birth of their son Tim, will never again have to think about their employment rights in the darkest days of their grief. I want to especially thank my friend in the other place, Chris Elmore, the member for Ogmore, who sponsored this bill, and Darren Henry, who first acted for Aaron after his wife died, and both front benches for their unflinching support. Can I wish everyone well on the campaign trail and remind members of your Lordship's House to buy sunscreen? I beg to move that this bill do now pass.
The question is that this bill do now pass. As many of that opinion will say content. Contrary not content, the contents have it.